Hi everybody, welcome back to the Guerin Report for our new season. We appreciate you taking time out of your Monday night or your Tuesday to watch along with us. We're really excited about what lies ahead and what a time to come back. The first Group 1 of the season just a few days away at Ellerslie. We'll give you all the updates on that, including some big news coming out on Monday. Horse of the Year is coming up on Sunday night. Plenty of honours to be dished out there. And we start with some breaking news about the jumping season, the big final coming up, the Great New Zealand Carnival on the 19th and the 21st out of Te Aroha after some huge racing there on a very deep track yesterday for the Pakuranga Hunt meeting. Spoke to Mark Olligan today, and he is all but confirming to us here on the Guerin Report, your defending champion and fourth favourite for the Great New Zealand Steeplechase, which used to be known as the Great Northern, on the 21st of September, West Coast, likely to not go to the race. He'll race this Sunday in a steeplechase race, and then Mark said, we are less than 50-50 to go to Te Aroha. We don't think it will suit him, and therefore the two-time defending champion West Coast unlikely to take his place. He has an $8 chance. Jesco is the favourite. We know he is going. Nedwin was excellent yesterday, and Captain's Run, of course, the national champion. Still, a strong first running of the Great New Zealand Steeplechase. But news today, West Coast more than likely not to defend his title. We'll talk about the Proisir and the Moir later. But this year on the Guerin Report, we want to emphasise hard news and big interviews with some of the stars of your industry. One of those is a rare living icon of New Zealand racing. Opie Bosson retired last year on 99 domestic Group 1 wins. He is a genius. Sometimes he is a flawed genius. We sat down with the very frank Opie Bosson. Here is Opie Bosson, the man.
Yeah, the winter tracks aren't the greatest to test out your fitness, and took a few meetings to blow the cobwebs out. The weight's been really good though, and I'm just getting fitter and fitter with each race meeting.
Okay, we'll get to retirement 2024 shortly, but talking about weight, when you were away from racing, how heavy did you get?
Well, I just ate what I liked and drank what I wanted, and I got to about 67 kilos, and I felt so uncomfortable. And once I got down to around about 63, I started feeling a lot better and within myself, and yeah, so I decided we'll go have another crack, and moved out to Te Ako and started training and dieting properly.
Must have been a weird feeling for someone who's been 60-ish most of their adult life to be 67 kgs.
I actually just felt fat, and I looked fat
I've been
too.
there, Opie.
Yeah, the old clothes were getting a bit tight, and had to change the wardrobe a little bit.
There's going to be people watching this, and guys of our age-ish, who think, well, how do you get that weight off, and what do you do to, I presume, be 8 kilos lighter now? So what's the regime around getting back to a rideable weight and maintaining it?
Well, I've done it properly. It's been like a 4-month process, and I've pretty much just eaten fish, chicken, veggies and salad, and cut out the beers, and the weight's just fallen off. I've been training hard every day. I've been running 8 to 10 Ks every single day, so I think that helps in just keeping busy.
Okay, so you're back. Let's go back to last December when you shocked a few by announcing your retirement. Why?
I was just mentally fried. Was going through a lot of stuff at the time, and the brain wasn't coping with it, and thought I had depression, and went and saw counsellors, and then she told me I had anxiety, and I just need to take a break and look after myself a bit, and it's really helped.
Did it feel cleaner to say I'm retiring than say I just need a little break from this? Or did you actually think you would never get back in a race day saddle?
I actually did think I was done at the time, but then a few months passed by and I slowly started getting the hunger back. And but I think the break was the best thing I ever done.
You talk about counselling, and there'll be plenty of people watching this who sometimes feel like things are getting on top of them a bit. Did it just help you straighten your thoughts out?
Yeah, it did. I was just trying to impress everybody, and she made sure just to look after myself and learn to love myself again. And it's been probably the best thing I've ever done.
On the other side of that, you said you started to get your love of racing back. Were those things tied together? Was it a fact that once you felt more like Opie, you felt more like being a jockey again?
Yeah, I just want to get the head straight, and because a lot of things were going on in my head, and just want to get the head straight before I did anything. And it kind of was in the back of my mind I wanted to ride again, but I was just afraid how everything was at the time, and it took a while to sort myself out, but it's really been a benefit talking to somebody.
Having been through that process and having seen the end of the road and even suggesting that maybe you were there in your career, is your advice to other people that if you do have those issues to go and talk to somebody? Because I think as Kiwi blokes, or men in general, we don't want to talk to anybody if we're not sure about how things are going in our lives. Has it been a process that's actually helped you as a person and made your life better?
I think 100% you should talk to somebody. I was quite bad for bottling things up and then maybe get drunk or something and then let it all out. So, but it's I'm not afraid to tell anyone to go and talk to someone if they need to.
Okay, let's talk about your relationship, and I'm not just putting you on the spot here, but this is your show, with alcohol. Because it's been a tricky relationship at times. So's mine, so's many people watching this show over their lifetime. How would you describe that relationship now?
To be honest, it was probably getting the best of me. I was just drinking for the sake of drinking and just trying to drown my sorrows, really. But over the last 4 months, I've cut out beer completely and the odd vodka and soda, but really knocked it on the head. Is
that a weight thing, or is it because I'll be honest, I've been out drinking with you. You're a happy little drunk. You fall asleep pretty quickly, but I wouldn't say you're an angry little person when you've had a couple of drinks. So was it one of those things that you just found it was a weight thing, or it just didn't suit you and didn't help you with your day-to-day moods? Well, I was probably drinking too much beer and it wasn't helping the weight at all. And so I cut that out completely, and slowing right down. I just only drink to celebrate or have like after the races or something like that. But nowhere towards what I was going like. You mentioned the time away and talking to someone about yourself was really good for you. What was it like on the other side of that, watching, for example, the Mask Rose win one of the Karaka Millions, or the NZB Kiwi, knowing that that could have been you? How was it being on the outside? It wasn't too bad because the brain still wasn't quite right then, and I wasn't missing the racing, but I'd done all their track work on them right up to it, and I could see how well they were going, and was telling all my mates to make sure you back them and stuff like that. But yeah, at the time, the Karaka Million wasn't too bad, but then when the Kiwi slot race came up and the Mask Rose won that's when I started to hurt a little bit. I'm proud of you for working on yourself while you were away from race riding. What else did you do? I mean, people know you love your fishing, you love your hunting. Did you get a chance to go back and do some of that stuff to sort of slow your clock down a bit? Yeah, I did. I've been fishing just about every weekend. I met a lot of new people that outside of racing. We went in quite a few fishing competitions and all that. And in the last 4 months, I've been out at Te Akau Stud, working out there on the farm, and really enjoyed that. A lot of racing people only, sometimes through necessity, hang around with other racing people. Was it good for you to meet other people who don't really know who Opie Bosson is? They might have heard your name, but they don't know how great a jockey you are. Was it good to get away from being in the bubble?
Yeah, it was great meeting different people, like there's plumbers, electricians, and yeah, we all got on well, and we had to spend a week in Pt.1 at the fishing competition, and had a blast really. It was good. No one even knew me who I was up there, so it was great.
All right, so you decide one day you want to go back. Was that a gradual process of, I want to go back, maybe yes, no, or was it one day, no, I am doing this, the decision's made, and then you start the process?
Yeah, I phoned David Ellis and said, I want to make a comeback, and he said, well, if you're going to do it, you're going to make sure you do it properly. And so I think it was the start of June, I think, and I packed my bags and moved out to Te Akau and started training that afternoon, and well, the first week or so hurt, but he got me into a nice regime, and I'd work early in the morning, then go to the gym for an hour, then go back and work all day, and then do another gym session in the afternoon. And by then I was buggered, so I was ready for bed. I had a little bit for dinner in bed.
Is that one of the keys to you being successful? Discipline, work, and therefore you don't have time to do anything stupid? And I'm not just asking about you, trust me, I've been there myself, brother.
Yeah, it was the discipline and keeping busy was the main factor, and yeah, and keeping away from the fridge. So being out on the farm, there's no fridges out there or food.
You mentioned David Ellis. You've had a long relationship with him, but he seems to have been a person who, while he is running a business, has always been there for you when things have got toughest.
Hey, 100%. He's like a rock to me. If I've got a problem, I go to him, and he's willing to help, and he can give me a telling off, but and when he does it, you really listen. But I'd be lost without him. I've been working there since I was 14 years old, so he's been a great help to my whole career.
So you're now back and you're now in the saddle. What's the plan? How long, in your mind, do you intend to ride? How long do you want to ride? Where do you see Opie 2.0 coming in at?
Well, I definitely want to ride my 100th Group 1 winner, and maybe more, try and beat Jim Cassidy's record, because I've no chance of beating J-Max. So, and I don't know, just see how the body's going, health-wise, injury-wise, and I'll ride for at least another 5 years.
Just going back to because you're on 99 Group 1 wins, did you have any moment when you were on the verge of announcing your retirement, when you thought, this is going to sound silly, I'm on 99 Group 1 wins, it's like retiring on 99 as a batsman in a test match, or were you just that sick of it and banged up that you didn't care?
I was that sick of it, and yeah, the mind wasn't right at the time, but when you look back now, you look like a bit of a dick.
Ladies Man is coming with a big run. Here comes Ladies Man coming after Lark Creek. It's Lark Creek. Ladies Man is rocketing home. 99 Group 1 wins for Opie Bosson.
There are punters out there who absolutely love you and love backing your horses. But they're also going to say to themselves, this guy didn't want to ride last year, so how dialed in is he? We sit on the verge of a massive spring and summer here at Ellerslie and right around the country, maybe for you around Australasia. What's your answer to that? How dialed in and how real is all this comeback?
I'm really dialed in. There's a lot of hard work's gone in to get me to where I am at the moment, and my weight's really, really good. I've never made a comeback and been able to ride, say, 56.5 on my second day. So I'm really, really happy about that side of things, and the mind is really dialed in. I've got a lot of nice horses at Te Akau there, and hopefully we can get that Group 1 out of the way real quick.
You're here at Ellerslie, which is, I presume, one of your favourites, if not your favourite track. What's it like being back here and not being too far from the winning shoot where you've come back so many times and you've heard that chant, there's only one Opie Bosson? What does this place mean to you?
It means a lot to me. I had my first Group 1 winner here. I've had a lot of Group 1 winners on this track, and it's just the nicest track to ride. And the atmosphere here on a big day, the crowd's right on top of you, and it's something different, especially when those boys get paid, start chanting. I've never seen anything like it on a racecourse.
I've dealt with you a lot on big race days, and I've never seen your ego come out, but it must give you, the shoulders must go back. You must feel pretty cool when 600 people, or maybe more, are chanting, "There's only one Opie Bosson."
Yeah, it's pretty cool, really. One of the boys, I can't remember who it said, they said, "Stop and just take this all in," because you never really see this at a rugby match or anything like that. And so I did, and it was just really quite special, really.
Other special things have happened in your career. One of them, which is probably, I suppose, you never expected would happen to Opie Bosson, was being made an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit. What was that like?
It was a little bit of a shock when it first happened. I got the phone call and I had to keep it quiet for about a year. I told a few of my close mates, but yeah, but it was quite an honour. So I got recognised for what I've done in the saddle, and it's you see a lot of great sportsmen, they have that honour as well.
An honour which was always going to come your way, but did come in the same year. 2023 was being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I know that would have been personally really important to you, because a lot of people wouldn't realise this, but you are a bit of a student of the game. You do care about the history of the game, and you would know most of those great names alongside you in the Hall of Fame. So that must have been a different sort of special.
Yeah, it was. It's I probably didn't tell too many people that that's one thing that I wanted to get when I was apprentice and everything like that. So to be awarded that, it was very, very special to be one of the greats of the New Zealand racing game.
All right, let's look forward to what lies ahead. Interesting times at Te Akau, still plenty of firepower, but a lot of the good horses, or three of the best anyway, have gone to Cranbourne. And that raises the question, have you spoken to David or Mark or Sam about where you fit into getting back on a Damask Rose if she's in Sydney or Melbourne? Or are your obligations here in New Zealand most Saturdays?
At this stage, we haven't really spoken about it much, but we'll just concentrate on New Zealand first and getting the race day fitness up and the race day mind sharp, and because you want to be on top of your game when you're going to Australia, so you don't want to be half-hearted.
You're also going to want to be close to the top of your game for what lies ahead here in the spring and summer. I think the jockeys room this summer is going to be very, very strong. I mean, we've had a couple of, shall we say, lulls with retirements and things over the last decade or so, but a lot of big names back at the moment. Matt Cameron, who's a good mate of yours, is back. Sam Collett's returned from Australia. The Warren Kennedys of the world. Nabber's never ridden better. Craig Grills is now a premiership winning jockey. The Matt Cartwrights and George Rooks of the world. It must be one of the stronger jockeys rooms you've been in for the last decade, I would presume, in New Zealand?
I think probably in the last 3 to 5 years, I think. It's just a lot of these boys coming back, and it's good to see Matty back. He's a great rider, and Grills, he's just so proud of him for winning a premiership. He's a good bloke, and he deserves that. So, but it's very, very strong. We've got the Joe Doyles, the Warrens, and yeah, they are very good riders, and makes it a lot harder for an old boy like me.
When you say it makes it harder, I've spoken to your very close mate James McDonald about riding against good riders, and he says sometimes it's easier to ride in the good riding races because less people make mistakes. But is it harder to put people where you want them to be?
Exactly, yeah, that's the hardest part. But and on the other hand, it's the best to be following the better jockeys in a race anyway, because they know where they're going. So it's good and bad at the same time.
All right. So now you're back. So what does a good or even great version of this comeback look like? What do you want to happen next? And I'm not talking about Group 1 win 100. I know that's going to come. But I'm talking about this year and next year and maybe even the year after. What would a really good version of this be?
I just really want to concentrate on riding winners and not taking breaks during the year because of my weight and stuff like that. I just want to really concentrate on having a few good hard seasons and make some good money and try and kick a few goals and ride a few more winners.
You talk about not taking breaks during the year, but with what's happened over the last couple of years of your life, have you learned that you do need to have at least a holiday away from racing? Not a forced break because you're too heavy, but I'm taking a break to work on Opie and just not talk about horses for a week or two. How important is that? Because I think a lot of people in racing don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. You always plan to have a holiday at the end of the season, like a good 3 to 4 weeks. So there'll be just one holiday for the year, hopefully, and not about 5 or 6 different ones.
What about horses that you're looking forward to getting on? Because as we mentioned, 2 or 3 of the really big names from Te Akau have gone across to Cranbourne, which is understandable. We're coming into spring. Is there a horse you've sat on or are looking forward to sitting on that our viewers should look out for?
We've got a really nice colt called Hostility. I think he's be an ideal 2,000 guineas type horse. He's Group 1 place, so he's still a maiden. But I think he's a horse going places, and I'm really excited for him going forward towards the 2,000 guineas.
You mentioned excited. Are you excited to be back? Coming up this Saturday at Ellerslie will be the first Group 1 for the season. At 45, after all those wins, is it still exciting to be on the verge of spring and all the things that holds?
Yeah, it is. Haven't been out there for a while on a big day, so that's what I thrive for, is the big race meetings, and the first Group 1 of the season means the season's really kicking off too, so yeah, can't wait.
We thank Opie for his honesty. That's not an easy thing to do, to go on television and talk about the things you've got wrong and how you're looking to address them in your life, knowing that your friends and your family and your rivals are going to be watching. So we're proud of you for doing that, Ope. Next week, we'll talk more about the fun stuff, the racing stuff. We'll talk about the minutiae of being a champion jockey. Opie Bosson next week on what he looks for in track work, how he researches a race, what he's looking to do in a race, some of the micro skills, and the best horses he's ridden, best trainers, best jockeys, and his 5 favourite wins. So next week on the Guerin Report, Opie Bosson, the jockey, he'll be one of the superstars of the saddle at Ellerslie this Saturday. We return to the home of racing for the Group 1 Proisir Plate, and there has been significant movement in the last 24 hours. Here is the market as it stands now, and we have spoken to every trainer involved. Everybody who's got a horse in the race, we rang them for you. These horses are all starting. Now, the ones who are on this page who would guarantee to start on Sunday include Quintessa and Checkmate. 16 will go to the post for the Proisir over the 1,400 metres, and they were outside that 16. But on Monday morning, Team Rogerson removed Sharp and Smart, who will head to Te Rapa on Sunday week for a race. Domain Ace has come out. He'll go to the rating 75 this Saturday. And Tony Piker said Valdezoldo will not start. So that has propelled Quintessa, Checkmate and Habana, who's already a Group 2 winner, into the race. Warren Kennedy to ride Habana. Those horses are all in. Meritable, as it would stand, is the only horse, as of Monday night, who is an emergency. The other big news coming out of the race, Bruno Corrêa, the Brazilian jockey, who sits second on the premiership, has been engaged to ride Grail Seeker. Now that's a huge engagement for him. His first visit to Ellerslie, and he is on the equal favourite for the Proisir. That field out around 10:30 on Wednesday morning. If there's no more dramas between now and then, those top 16 pretty much guaranteed. Some rider changes coming through as people scramble to get the best riders for a meeting where we're also going to see the Gold Trail for the girls and the Colin Meads for the boys. Great to have racing back at Ellerslie. Also, we're going to have the Moir on Saturday as well, coming out of the Valley with, of course, Alabama Lass, who heads across to Melbourne on Wednesday up against La Dorada, the Size Produce and Karaka Million winner. So lots of Kiwi female flavour to the Moir. News coming out of Australia this morning. The Golden Slipper winner, Mahuna, could be a late entry into that 1,000-metre Group 1. Let's just go back and remind you about some of the form heading in to this Proisir Plate. A lot of it's been trials form, but we have had races at Te Rapa for the Foxbridge Plate. Many of those favourites weren't in this race, but Sterling Express was very, very good. So Sacred Satono is in front here. He was, by his standards, disappointing. Grant Cooksley said, we are still going. Twain, who's 3 wide, is not heading to Te Rapa. But you're looking for Sterling Express, Dusty Road. They are both going to be heading there. And I thought, excellent here, even though a different grade of race. So what you need to say to yourself is that race fitness more important than, say, a Grail Seeker who won what was the Tarzino last year, now the Proisir Fresh Up, or more important than, say, Legato, who's been excellent in a trial and then, of course, in an exhibition gallop out of Te Rapa. So that's really hard to marry up. Maybe the one horse who we know handles Ellerslie and is race fit is Tuxedo. He went to Ruakaka and was really good fresh up. This might be the most important video heading into the race. Yeah, it wasn't a great field, but he's the horse down the outside. He absolutely bolts in. We know he can race well at Ellerslie. Spoke to Sean Ritchie. He said, I am really happy with my horse. He's the $8 chance on that second line of betting, and he has to be one of the horses who has the least doubts about him. Tuxedo heading to the Proisir Plate on Saturday here on Trackside. Huge coverage coming up. Don't forget, weigh-ins back next Sunday morning, our sister show, to take you through all that immediate reaction and news from there, from the Moir, and from all the other racing around New Zealand. Before we go tonight, a very important message. Our friend, and a friend to many people in the industry, Andrew Castles, is going through a tough time, a really challenging time for him and his family. Butch, hang around, brother. Do what the doctors tell you to do, because New Zealand racing has never needed you more. We are all behind you. We'll be back with the Guerin Report next Monday at 8 p.m.